So, having bought Languedoc, the last month in Nice just flew past. There were packing boxes everywhere, I had a million things on my mind, and the kitties weren't impressed with their new ID collars. But I was ready and really excited. The day before the move, I decided to take the bus into town to revisit the places I knew and loved. I'd worked hard over the past 3 years, but I'd made wonderful memories I treasure. As the sun set, I headed up to the top of Nice to take in the view and see the city all lit up. I'd miss it, but it was time for a new chapter, and I couldn't wait to get settled into my new home. It was early morning on March the 17th, 2025, and the removal guys arrived to pack up the last items. We drove to the realtor's office to drop off the flat keys and then headed out of Nice for the 6-hour trip down south to the house. I sat with the kitties in the passenger seat and we had a really good journey down despite wet weather, arriving in the village by late afternoon. 2 hours later, everything was in, the guys headed off, and I curled up in the attic with Oscar and Sammy. It was such a relief to be finally there. So, after a very wet and windy moving in on the 17th of March, 2 massive vans pulled up on the high street and everything was loaded in. Huge amounts of stuff. I was absolutely exhausted, but the trip was a good one. And this is the kitchen. Yes, you will notice there is no electricity. I am in France. Yeah, so the utility provider didn't do a very good job, and so we had to unpack super fast, chuck everything into this kitchen. Boxes were piled high, so you could barely squeeze through the door. And the rest of the stuff went in the parlour, which is through here. Yeah. So, there's my fridge. I've got a couple of vintage units there. It's a little bit archaic, to say the least. That's my pantry. Of course, with no electricity, I can't plug in my phone. I can't plug in the fridge. When it gets to about 3:30 in the afternoon, I'm wandering around by candlelight, which is, to be honest with you, rather nice. But it's a bit frustrating when you've got no electricity, no running water either, and when it gets to the point where you want to charge your phone or you want to go to the loo and you can't find the matches for your candle, it's not fun. But anyway, so this is the kitchen. Sammy's super excited. Sam, he's super excited. Oh, bless his little heart. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. So going from the ground floor to, come on, Sam, in the darkness. I've got to watch my step because it's easy to trip without any lights. It's very archaic. Here, this is the little loo, and of course you can't see anything, but this is the little loo. All in darkness. Okay, little tiny loo. This is what will be the living room. Everything's in boxes, obviously. This is only day 2. Yeah, nice aspect out to the main street. And what will be, hopefully, a lovely little garden out the back. It's very wet and windy at the moment, but there's a pergola. I haven't let the babies out yet. I've just put a few things out there because, as you can see, it's very windy and wet. And I'm sure the first thing that Sammy would do is climb up the ladder at the back of the garden and try to get across the wall to the neighbours, and I just can't face that. Anyway, so yes, all my packing boxes I've started to unpack. Still waiting for electricity. And then up, oh no, this is the kitties' room. At the moment, it's the kitties' room. They've got their cat tower, their bed, their scratching post, fluffy thing to sit on, all their toys. They love their toys. Oh my goodness, yes. Litter tray and big box of food for the kitties, that sort of stuff. And then Sammy's grey mouse. Oh, bless his heart. He's got his I know, darling, he's your mousey. He's your mousey. He loves his grey mouse. Don't you, baby? Yes. He's dying to go outside. And then up to what is going to be, which is my bedroom, which is on the top floor. It obviously needs a lot of renovation, this place. Electrics as well. But I've made a start. So, the bottom end is very rustic. It's very rustic, but bags of bed linen, underwear, clothes, towels. But yeah, it's going to look nice when the electrics are on. I got myself 2 hanging rails because it's the only way I could actually have got something to hang my clothes up on. You couldn't get a wardrobe up the stairs. Yes, this is my bed. The bed's actually gone up the stairs really well because it's 2 separate beds put together and they managed to squish the queen size mattress up here. I picked some daffodils from the garden. Yeah. Raffia lamp, I love that. This is the kitties' place because I put them in the room initially to keep them away from the people moving into the boxes, and I kept everything in there and they got very stressed. They wanted to be with mummy, so I'm gonna have to wake up and look at cat food bowls for the next few days. The tiles are needing to be replaced. That's something I will do possibly next year. I need to get as much done as I possibly can in terms of the basics, feel as if it's homey, splash a bit of paint on the walls, and then get back to work, to be honest. I did find out at 3 o'clock this morning that there is a little tiny hole in the roof. Yes, there's a little tiny hole in the roof. You can't really see it. But I heard this splish splash sound, if I can speak. And I thought, oh my gosh, no way. So I inched the bed over a little bit, the mattress over, because the water was falling down here. It's not a massive problem, but I am going to have to get the roof looked at in the next couple of months. Let's just hope when it's a bit drier, I can get myself organised and get a lot of sort of proper maintenance stuff done. I just need to make it livable right now. Yeah, it's a nice aspect to the garden, le jardin. Yes, the guy I bought it from was a painter. He owned it with his sister and his brother, and they live in Paris. And it was just too far to go all the way down from Paris to Carcassonne, which is not actually that far from Narbonne, nearly down towards the Spanish border, Perpignan. Yeah, so it was just too much of a trek. They ended up in their 70s and they just decided to sell it. But he was very fond of this little house.
The next few days were spent sorting everything out and lugging boxes from room to room. Sammy followed me around whilst Oscar curled up in the attic as it was his safe space. By the end of the week, I got myself organised and had a few things to do.
So, water and electrics, but no Wi-Fi. So I'm on the bus, 8 a.m. bus, from the little village to Carcassonne and out to the airport area of Carcassonne to SFR, because my eSIM on my phone to give me temporary Wi-Fi doesn't work. I hope to goodness they get it working.
The trip was really successful, and I discovered a commercial centre with a store called Bric-a-Marche where I ordered paint, rollers and a tall ladder. B&M where I found very reasonable homeware, and a lovely organic food shop where I managed to cram as much as I could into my little trolley before heading back home on the bus. Sammy was so pleased to see me, and the next morning I decided to take him out into the garden.
6:30 in the morning. Sammy couldn't sleep, I couldn't sleep. So I'm out of bed in my nightie. It's been a week, they've been stuck indoors, they've been going stir crazy. And this is the first time that Sammy has been out in his garden. What do you think, Papa? What do you think, my baby? It's your garden. Yes. He doesn't know what to make of it. Do you, darling? You can hear the birdies. Sam, you can hear the birdies. I was a right pain this morning. He was a right pain this morning. Racing up and down the stairs, knocking things over, breaking things. I thought, I'm either going to sit here feeling all teary and overwhelmed, or I'm going to put a flipping collar on him at 6 in the morning, which took me half an hour in itself, and get him out here. I don't know where Oscar is. Oscar! Oscar's terrified. He hasn't had a collar on him ever in his life, and I managed to wrestle a little ID collar on him with my French telephone number for safety, and he absolutely hates it. He's gone off in a strop. What do you think, Sam? Is it all very exciting, Baba? My darling? Yes. Is it all very exciting? Yes. Bless them, it's been really tough. Boxes piled high. I've been working really, really hard for the past few weeks. Not few weeks, what am I talking about? Few days. It's early in the morning, guys. Yeah. To try and sort of figure out a way of living normally until and I can start working again, properly working, rather than, recording YouTubes in advance. I don't like to do that, really, but I can start doing private readings and that sort of stuff. I needed to get myself sorted to that extent and have some sort of semblance of a home made here before I actually start renovating, which will be in the next few months, and I'm going to hopefully transform this garden. But the old guy who owned the garden was a painter, and you can tell he's got quirky little what is that? Is that a happy little man having a shower outside in the sunshine? He was actually an artist, I think you can tell. Yeah, it's quite an eccentric. Anyway, God, everything is run down. There's a leak in the roof. Well, yeah, don't know where little Oscar's gone. I think he's emigrated.
Over the next few days, I got busy making the attic area my little haven of peace and calm. I needed to have one room that I could really relax in. The bed was at one end and I created a dressing area at the other. I put up little rattan lampshades, got out my clothes and bed linen, connected some side lamps, put up my pictures, and was quite surprised at the result. Looking at photographs of what it did look like, it had been transformed. So, with the attic room finished, it was time to let Oscar out into the garden.
Oh, it's 6:30 in the morning, and it's Oscar's first time in the garden. Yes. What do you think, Squeaky? Yes. Do you like it? Oscar. He's very vocal this morning. He's just had breakfast. Yes, he has a little chat. Here, my baby. Yes. Very excited. Oscar. Okay, my baby. Hopefully it's going to be blue skies later on. What you doing, Fluffs? Oscar? It's probably going to be very blurry, this video, because of the light, but had to capture Oscar's first little garden escapade. Squeaky. He's having a chat with Mama. It's as if, Mummy, what's going on here? This is a bit different. Is this my garden? Is this my garden? What happened to the other place? Oscar. Yeah. All right. Time to go in and make coffee. Yes, my baby. Time to go in and make coffee. Yes. And finally the sun comes out. Wow. How lovely. Oh, thank you for the sunshine. Beautiful, beautiful day. And I am starting decorating. Yes. Damp proofing, blue skies. Trying to coax Sammy out. I've got his scratching post over here. He keeps sitting by the doorway. And then he chickens out and he shoots back into the house. But yeah, it is a beautiful day. Thank the Lord. Yeah. Well, the garden's going to take a few months. Right now, I have to get going with inside the house. I'm beginning to damp proof. This will be the living room. Yeah, unfortunately the glass in the TV, not the TV, the coffee table smashed, so that's a real shame. But anyway, I'm hoping they're going to connect Wi-Fi. The leads are there, so keeping my fingers crossed. I moved all the kitty stuff to what will be the lounge area. I love this little light. I love this little light. It's made out of just a piece of wood, like a branch coming out the wall. Don't know where Sammy is. He keeps leaving his little grey mouse present for Mama. And then he sort of scoots off in the opposite direction. My lovely chairs and everything still in bubble wrap, but needs must for now. There's a little bit of, excuse my slippers, I mean my trainers. Yeah, there's floorboards that look as if they need to be treated, so I'm going to have to do that later on. But for now, I've got the windows open and I'm just glorifying, or rather soaking in, this beautiful day.
Within a week, the room was completed. I put down some old rugs, dug out a couple of lamps and my tarot set up, as well as fishing out all my tarot decks, and there were a lot. I was quite tired and covered in paint, but it had been a job well done and had been worth it. To help with the audio, I bought a portable tent, which, together with sound blankets and a soundboard, made the audio so much smoother. I was getting there. I was dying to get outside to tackle the garden, but I wanted to press on redecorating the living room. One thing was missing though, a sofa. I headed off on the bus again and found one for half price in Conforama. I was thrilled. Back at home, I got busy.
Oh, wow, I am so puffed. Up and down the stairs, up and down the stairs, up and down the stairs. It's good for me though. I'm pretty sure I've lost at least 5 pounds in the last couple of weeks, but I have managed to prime that turquoise wall. I considered keeping it, but it wasn't in very good condition. There were nicks in the wall. And so after feeling so frustrated and a little bit down about not being able to get into town, I did realise that my private readings weren't actually due to go out until tomorrow anyway, so that made me feel better. And it was such a gorgeous day. I thought, okay, I will make the most of the day. So I moved all of the furniture back from the wall, stored it safely here, because what I realised was on the 2nd of April, the sofa will be coming in and will be put up right there, opposite the TV. And I thought, okay, I also need to prime the wall. So moved all the furniture. And I've done really well. This little alcove was orange, so that's been primed too. And it's looking much better. And what I was pleased about was I didn't go and buy another couple of pots of primer, which actually would have meant me going into town and doing anyway, which would have delayed me priming the area. I actually used the paint that was left over from doing my recording studio. So it all worked out really well. Oh, my feet are achy, my legs are achy, my arms are achy, but it's been actually a really good day. The Wi-Fi box is there. I hope to goodness that technician can give me fibre. He may not be able to do that. I don't know. Keeping my fingers crossed. And Sammy has had the most blissful day running around the garden. There he is. Hello, baby. You had a lovely day, my Sammy. Yes, he's had a blissful... He's looking so happy. It has been glorious out today. Bright and sunny, birds and butterflies whizzing around. It's been really gorgeous. And actually, the piece of grass that I took out that was all rumpled has naturally flattened out. And it made me wonder whether or not this evening I should get out the other 3 big rolls of grass and just stick them outside, because they're only taking up space in the shed. And to be honest with you, I think the boarding would look nicer with some fake grass put down. So I might do that after I've taken this video. These are the chipboard shelving units which Nick Lenoir put up where the orange coving is in the corner, but you know, they were ready to fall down. They weren't really sturdy, so I've just taken them out. I don't know what I'm going to put there. I may end up putting a nice painting in there. I'm not sure. We will see. These lights I'm going to replace because they're not particularly pretty. I'm going to replace those with some lovely Art Deco wall lights, and the room is going to take shape. The other bright idea I had was the flooring is really awful. I mean, it's really awful. So what I thought I could do is, rather than messing around with rugs, I would actually get the whole of this living room area, lounge area, out through into the hall, and maybe possibly even into my tarot room, which might help with the sound. I might even decide to put down a sort of lovely, sort of creamy rattan carpet, which would help with heating and cooling in the summer and winter months. It would be much more comfortable. It would look so much better because the flooring is really appalling. And it would just sort of streamline this first floor area. I think it would just make it look a lot nicer. And then if I want to put a cream rug on top of the rattan carpet, which hopefully will be wall to wall, a proper fitted carpet, I think that would look rather nice. Yeah, and it would prevent dust from coming up from the floorboards. I mean, it would just be better all round. Yeah, so I've done the priming. I will end up getting some lovely cream paint to do the whole of this area, but I'm going to go round with some polyfiller first of all, because there are various gaps that need filling in, that it's all a bit rough and ready, you know. And then of course I'm going to strip down the door frames, the window frames, and probably just get that lock taken off because I don't mind it being open like that. I quite like it. I'll have to see. I'll have to see whether or not it's going to cause it to be too cold in the winter months. I don't know. But yes, I had a bright idea about putting down a nice rattan carpet. I think it's just going to be so much better. Anyway, so I'm now going to jump into the shower. Well, I can't speak. Jump into the shower. Sammy's probably going to sit on this chair for a while and enjoy the beautiful garden. I think he's just twigged that it's his garden. Yeah, he's such a happy boy. And my Sammy. Hey, my Baba. He's such a happy boy. Oscar's been asleep all day in the laundry basket up in the attic. He's just woken up and looked at me expectantly because it's his tea. He's quite lazy, but anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to put the old chipboard shelving unit planks in the shed, and I'm now going to bring out the pieces of grass. But it's been a really good day, a surprisingly good day, given how it started.
I was pleased to see the delivery guys arrive with my new sofa and super excited to finally get Fibre Wi-Fi connected. It also felt as if the garden was coming to life.
Wow, I've just realised I'm recording this at 16:16 and it is 16 degrees. So 16. How amazing. I'll have to look that up. But it's been a really good day. This morning I did some editing. I sent out the mid-April videos. The vine is just, wow. It's just loving the sunshine and the rain. It gets bigger every day. It's really sprouting. And I don't know what the tree is. I'm going to have to find out what the tree is that's growing at the back of the garden. Can't believe after all that weeding the grass is sprouting up again. It's been a bit mixed. I guess it's mid-April. It's been a little bit mixed. It's been grey skies, lots of rain, and then the sun comes out, and then it happens all over again. But I'm really pleased because the room is looking much, much better, as in it's really coming along. I have done a coat of primer, 2 coats of the creamy yellow. I put the new vintage light bulbs up, and actually they're rather nice. They give a rather atmospheric glow. I don't know whether or not they flicker a little bit because that's what they're meant to do, because they're meant to be vintagey type light bulbs, giving a flame effect, or whether or not it's just the electrics. I don't know. I also ordered some more polyfiller because there's such a lot that I have to yet fill in, so I ordered a big tub of polyfiller. I also ordered some floor repair because the floor is really not good. It is not woodworm. Oh gosh. So I thought, well, rather than just wash it and stick a rug over it, there would still be a lot of dents and cracks and holes in the wood. I thought I should repair the floorboards as much as I can. It's quick drying stuff, so that's good. A tub was about €40, so it wasn't too bad. So it's going to take me a little bit longer to finish the room because that's not something I expected to do, but I think it's worth doing it. So it's Easter week and it's Wednesday the 16th of April and there are no buses running. Oh, I hauled myself out of bed after Sammy kept me awake until about 3 in the morning. Bless his heart, desperate to go out into the mud soaked garden, or rain-soaked muddy garden, and yeah, no buses. So I walked back, went into Spar. The lovely ladies there in the village shop, I just bought the basics: cling film, bread, some Tyrell's crisps, salt and vinegar crisps. And I've come back and I was walking up and I just thought, this is such a beautiful village. It just really hit me. Lovely irises that now most of them have gone, but really beautiful. And up here is just gorgeous. Yeah, that little wooden bridge. So I just thought, whilst most other people are either away for Easter week or out in the garden, there's a mower next to me, I thought I'd just wander up and have a look at this side of the little village, and it's gorgeous. wisteria there tumbling over that fencing. Really gorgeous. So, hasn't been a wasted day. It's still very early. It's about 8:30 in the morning. So I'm going to go home and see if I can fix the bottle of gas on my cooker. I'm going to sand down the skirting boards in the lounge and see if I can do some ceiling painting in the tower room in my recording studio. So there we go.
Well, I ended up spending the day repairing the floorboards whilst Oscar ventured out with Sammy, who'd curled up on the cat tower. It was heartwarming to see them so relaxed. I had my work cut out finishing the living room, but things were progressing and spring was on its way.